Hey y'all, it's your girl Tar JD here, also known as Queen T, and thank you for tuning into my channel. Today we're going to be talking about why it's not working. Now, if you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Do me a favor, be sure to share this video with another sister who you think may be able to resonate with this message. Okay, so today I had something that came to my mind about why things just aren't working. Maybe you're someone who is constantly getting in relationships over relationship, situationship at this point, whereas though you're with someone, you don't really know where things are going. You're having these conversations, and maybe sometimes he ghosts for a few days, so you don't really know what your status is. And then next thing you know, there's someone else, and you're repeating the same cycle. Or maybe you're at this job, you're trying all these different strategies, and no matter what it is, you're not getting the promotion you're after. Maybe it's a degree that you started 5-10 years ago, and you feel like every time you think that this is the right time to jump back into it, you feel like you're being pushed 10 steps backwards again. No matter what, you're constantly repeating cycles. And I heard the voice come to me today. When I say the voice, I'm literally saying like the Holy Spirit spoke to me. It's not working. And this is why it's not working. It's not working because you're constantly doing it your own way. You're constantly trying a different strategy. You're going back to the drawing board and you're figuring out plan A and plan B, and you're not even realizing that plan A looks exactly like plan B. It's just that some reason you believe that it's different, but it's not. You're going into it with the same motives and intentions, and you're not taking it to the Lord. And the reason that I'm saying it's not working, because you didn't take it to the Lord, I'm brought to the story in the book of John 4, where we see the Samaritan woman. Now, if you know about the Samaritan woman, you know that she was a woman who went to this well in Samaria each and every day, probably drawing water over and over and over again. She had this constant routine, constantly drawing water. And one day Jesus was passing by Samaria, and he just so happened to be at the well. And he asked this woman, who was a Samaritan, "Can you give me a drink of water?" Now she looked at Jesus and she said to him, "You're a Jew and you're asking me, a Samaritan, for a drink of water." Now you're wondering, okay, if you're not into the Bible stories, let me just give you some quick background. When you think of a hierarchy chart, back in biblical terms, Jews were considered the top of the barrel, and the Samaritans were half Jew. So there's like some beef there. So it's like if you weren't full Jewish, then you weren't really considered a Jew, and therefore you were kind of considered under a full-term Jew. And the woman at the well, we call her the Samaritan woman. She doesn't have a name. She's just someone who was at this water well, constantly trying to get a drink of water. And if she's coming every day, that means she's thirsting after something. She's thirsting after something. No matter what she's doing, she's constantly going back to this well because she's thirsty. And here she is. She has an encounter with Jesus, has no idea who he is. All she knows is that he's a Jew. And she's already discounting herself, basically saying that, am I worthy enough to even give you a drink of water? Like, why would you ask me? Like, I'm the bottom of the barrel. This is how she thought of herself. And Jesus said to her, if you knew who you were and the gift that I gave you, you wouldn't even ask me that. Now, that was huge for me. I want to say to you, do you understand the gift that God gave to you? Stop discounting yourself. Stop going back to the drawing board, trying to do a strategy without pulling Jesus into the plan. He already knows your gift. You may know of it, but he knows how to activate it and take it to the next level. Maybe you don't need a plan A or a plan B. You might need a plan Z. You're not even thinking that because it's so many letters ahead that you can't see it. God already sees the end of the story for you. And in order to get to what it is that you're after, you have to walk with him. Now, the woman at the well, Jesus knew so much about her that he knew that she didn't have a husband, because he even asked her a question about where's her husband. And she admitted, she gave full honesty, a woman of integrity. And she says, I don't have a husband. And he called her out and he says, you're right. And the men that you laid with last night was not even your husband. So she was someone who came with an open heart. When she knew that God knew who she was, she confessed to him and just said, oh my gosh, you are the one, you are the great I am, you are the one that they talked about that would be sent. And she immediately changed her posture, and she went back and she told people about it. Now, they don't talk about this woman after this story, but I imagine that she never had to go back to that well feeling thirsty again, because she had an encounter with Jesus. And the way that she walked away from that well, I feel like even though she had a physical encounter with him, she walked away with him in spirit as well, as we have the Holy Spirit that dwells in us. So I want you to know you have that same access to Jesus. Don't continue to try to figure it out on your own. Don't continue to try to, I wonder if this is the one, it might be working out, etc., and then it's not. Take it to Jesus. He will tell you if you need to cut that guy off. He will tell you if you need to put that guy on block. He will even tell you if you even need to give that guy your number. He will let you know if your time is up at a job. He will let you know that if you're going after the wrong degree, that's why it's not working for you, because it's not working because you're not really being you. You're not putting in your full investment as far as like your gift. You're not working and operating in your gift. You're trying to operate in somebody else's gift. And when you're trying to do that, you're far from where it is that you're trying to get to. Now, I want to help you. I want to help you to stop trying to live up to other people's expectations for your life. I know you didn't get married immediately after college. Guess what? It didn't happen for me immediately after college either. In fact, I had 3-4 engagements after college until I actually got married. I know that you didn't have the children by 28. Guess what? I still don't have children and I'm in my 30s. It's just not that strategy for your life. You have a purposeful gift that God is waiting to use. Your assignment is special, and there is no one like you that can do it. And I want to help you break free so you can live a life that you are trying to get to. You don't have to try anymore. It can just happen for you. It can happen. There is a strategy specifically for your life. Everybody has a strategy. It's the same strategy. Number one is, I'm not even gonna lie to you, it's just having a relationship with God and knowing how to hear from him, knowing how to get in position so that you can receive from him what it is that he has for you. And I want to help you. So go ahead, hop in the description box, jump on a free, I'm putting that out there. I'm not looking for your money. Hop on a free call with me so that we can get a strategy chat set up for your life, so that we can talk about ways on how I can be able to help you get to what it is that you're after. Maybe it's not a guy. Maybe it's you're trying to purchase a home. Maybe it's you're trying to relocate to another state or out of the country. And no matter what you do, every time you try something different, something comes up and it reroutes your plans. And before you know it, you're pushing it out 3-5 years later. And it's like when the 3-5 years later comes, you feel like you're constantly postponing it. You don't have to live like this. You have a gift. Let's figure out how to operate in your gift so that you can get to what it is that God is calling you to. That's my time. See, I made it, y'all. We were brief today. Send me your questions, send me your topics. I'm here for it. Again, this is Tarjay D, also known as Queen T, and we're elevating from here, ladies. All right, let's go.